So I need to warn you about the trouble ahead. Because what we are seeing is that retail stores are now sitting empty. That shoppers are not going to your local Walmart and Target, even Costco. We're now starting to see more shoppers are shopping online and are a little more concerned about prices. I want to explain what's going on and why this is potentially going to lead to more layoffs. And again, we're already seeing it. Layoffs have been happening, but they're likely to accelerate in the very near future. So I want to explain what's going on and why millions of people are extremely concerned about the new outcome of how we shop on a day-to-day basis. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So yes, millions and millions of Americans are going to be impacted because shoppers are now changing their shopping habits. And you may be one of them. I know I am. I do not go and shop in local stores like I used to because I can pull up my phone, buy anything I want on Amazon or other retail sites. But I'm bringing this video to you today because today is a very important day for certain people. It's Valentine's Day. Now, you may be watching this on Valentine's Day, or maybe you had something else to do and you watching it on Saturday or Sunday. Not a big deal. Look at this. Valentine's Day spending is going to reach a record $27.5 billion. That's higher than it was last year and the year prior. Look at this. It says consumers are expected to spend a record $27.5 billion on Valentine's Day this year, according to an annual survey. It says the amount is up from last year's $25.8 billion and slightly above the previous record of $27.4 billion set in 2020. Shoppers plan to spend $188.81 on average on the holiday, up from $185.81 in 2024. Now let me ask you this. How much do you plan on spending this year for Valentine's Day? What are you buying? You buying chocolate? You buying flowers? You taking your spouse or your loved one out to a dinner? What are you doing? And let me just bring this to your attention too. The majority of Americans, according to estimates, are going to pay for their Valentine's Day celebration with credit. I want to read you some other facts though. So over half of consumers plan to celebrate Valentine's Day this year, up from 53% in 2024. Men are more likely to celebrate this holiday this year, with 55% saying they plan to participate in Valentine's Day. It says the most popular gifts this year include candy, 56%, flowers, 40%, and greeting cards, 40% as well. An evening out is at 35% and jewelry at 22%. But what you need to keep in mind is that more and more people are now spending, but putting their purchases on credit. Now, I bring this to your attention because of one of the things that I just found. Okay, this is a new survey. Look at this. 1 in 10 Americans would not date somebody with credit card debt, according to a survey. It says on the flip side, according with Sarah Rathner with NerdWallet, said 90% of Americans do not consider credit card debt to be a deal breaker, but 1 in 10 do. So 1 in 10 Americans would not date somebody with credit card debt, yet the majority of Americans are using credit cards to take their significant others out to dinner, to buy flowers, to buy candy, buy things like that. Well, here's the problem. We're now starting to see shoppers are only coming forward and going to retail stores like Target and Walmart in times of need. So they come in and buy the essentials. They buy food. They buy things like healthcare products. They buy toothpaste and shampoo, and they'll buy medicine. But when it comes to things like shoes, sporting goods, electronics, sales are likely to go down in the very near future because of tariffs. I've talked about this before. I've said we already know that President Trump has already imposed a 25% tariff on aluminum and steel. We know there's a tariff for Canada and Mexico at 25% as well, but it's temporarily paused. We know there's a tariff on Canada and anything, for China, anything coming from China as well. But we have other problems. Stores are now realizing that they need to change. Did you know that according to Walmart's CEO, Walmart is saying that by 2026, and this is a very important piece of information, by 2026, Walmart plans to have 65% of their stores will be automated. We don't know what that's going to look like. We don't know if that means robots are going to be walking out into the parking lot to pick up the carts. We don't know if that means all their items that are picked are going to be picked by actual humans or what? Come through a conveyor type system? We don't know. Are we going to see all the different cashiers are going to go away? There will be no cashiers or maybe just one? And then everything else will be self-checkout? It could happen. Could we also see that any item that you want to purchase at Walmart, you have to actually purchase it online, go to the store, and you pick it up that way? Right? Could that be the automation they're talking about? But 65% of Walmart stores in the United States are expected to be automated by 2026. That's next year. Look at this. It says U.S. retailers increased layoffs in January as stores close. I want to read you some of the facts here as well. Look at this. It says retailers slashed 6,419 jobs in January, up 96% from the prior month and 20% higher than a year ago. This is according to a recent report. It says Challenger attributed about 1/3 of retail job losses to closures, with the restructuring efforts accounting for 25% of retail jobs lost. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult year, not just for retail, but for everybody. And then look at this. Walmart, one of the biggest companies in the United States, says they're going to lay off nearly 500 Walmart employees in Hoboken. It said nearly 500 Walmart employees will be laid off in Hoboken later this year, said a notice from the state of New Jersey. What we are seeing right now is Walmart and other retailers, other large companies, are trying to restructure and change. They're trying to adapt to what the United States is giving us. We're seeing changes with the Trump administration. That's obviously going to cause some changes and a ripple effect amongst the retail community as well. We're going to see spending change. Everything is going to change. But the reason why I'm bringing this to you today is because I want to warn you, there is trouble ahead. If we start to see these retail stores like Walmart, Target, Costco, Sam's Club, if we start to see these bigger stores lay off employees, that means there's going to be changes within those communities. There will be massive changes. And I know Walmart's going to come out and say that we're not laying off these employees. We're giving them an option. You can accept this layoff notice and you can go on unemployment, or you can just be relocated to another store. And I know they're really trying to push for their main hub in Arkansas. But again, who's going to move from Hoboken to Arkansas? Not a lot of people. So we'll see what happens, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.